Hello guys, welcome to this video on the basics of Excel. In this video, we will try to understand what is sum function in Excel. Okay, so as we know, what does a sum function represent? It represents the summation of a set of numbers. So let's say you had to add up a set of numbers. How can we do it? We can either do it in mind. Let's say if there was only 5 or 6 numbers, we can do it in mind. Let's say if there are 10 or 15 numbers that we have to add up, how do we do it? We can do it using a calculator. But on the other hand, let's say we had 500 numbers that we had to add up. Obviously, doing it via a calculator or mentally has gone out the window. How do we do it? This is where the Excel function comes into play. So Excel can easily help us sum a large set of numbers. Okay, so now let's try to understand what the function is. So as we can see here, what is the sum function? It helps us add all the numbers in a range of cells. Okay, so if you had a range of cells, you can sum all the numbers in those cells. And how does the function look like? So it is equal to SUM and within the brackets the numbers. So A, B, C, D are different numbers that we have to add up. So now let's take an example and try to understand this function in more detail. So here is an example of a number of students and their scores for different subjects in a class. Okay, so there are two things that we will try to identify using this example. First, we want to identify the total score of students for each of the subjects and see which students score the most mark in the class. Second one, we want to identify what is the total score for each of the subject and we want to see which subject the students are scoring the most. It essentially means that this subject is either easy or that particular teacher is doing well that students are scoring a lot of mark. So these two things are what we are going to find out from this example. So there can be many other applications where some formula can be used. For example, sales figure. Let's say there are 1 lakh of sales numbers that you have to add up. You can easily use this Excel function of sum function. Okay, so there are many other applications as well. Here we are taking a very small example of students and their marks for different subjects. So let's start with Adam. Okay, so first we have to find out what is the total score of Adam for all the 4 subjects together. So what we can do is that first type equal to, then as we can see in the formula or in the representation on the right side, we have to type SUM. So as we can see here, we can see sum and we can read what is written there. It adds all the numbers in a range of cells. That's what it does. So now to auto complete this thing, just click on the tab button. Okay, so click on the tab button in your keyboard and it completes the suggestion. Okay, now we have to choose the number 1, number 2, the whole set of or the whole range of cells that we have to choose. So what are the range of cells that we have to choose for this example? For Adam, it is from max 40 till history E2 46. So we will just choose all these 4 cells and close that formula. Click on enter. So now we have the total marks scored by Adam for all 4 subjects together, which is 158 marks. Now let's go to Peter and try to apply the same formula. So it is equal to SUM. You can either put the bracket yourself or click on the tab to complete it. And now we have to choose the range of mark, which is 45 till E3 and close the bracket, click on enter. So now we have Peter's mark. Now similarly, we can apply the same formula. Go and type the formula for each one. So what is an easier method? Let's say if it 10 means we can just go and type. Let's say if we had 100 numbers, how do we do it? The easier method is that click on this particular cell where we have applied the formula. And here on this side, you will see this particular small square click button, right? Just click on that and drag it till the point where you need to apply the formula. So we need till Janet. So we have extended till that point and just drop the mouse click. So now this formula got applied to everywhere. Now you can see for John, it is sum of B4 to E4. Then coming down for David, it is sum of B5 to E5, etc. Okay. So now the first point was we wanted to find out which student got the most number of marks. So as we can see here, David got the most number of marks for all the subjects together. So David is the class topper for this. Now the next thing that we wanted to find out is we wanted to find out what is the total marks scored by all students for a subject, which means in here again we have to apply the sum formula. So here we can apply in max equal to SUM. Then again either click on tab or use a close button. Now choose the total range of cells that you want to add. So here the range of cells would be from B2 to B11. That is the range. Close the bracket, click on enter. So now we got the total marks for mathematics. Now you can either go and type the formula on each of these cells, or click on this small button here and extend it till the cell where we want to apply the formula. So here, as we can see, the maximum mark that was scored for a particular subject is for mathematics. So it means that the students in this particular school really likes mathematics and they understand mathematics, or that the teacher in that for mathematics teacher has done really well, that the students understood all the concepts well. So this is an example of sum function. So as we mentioned, it can be applied for many other cases. For example, you can apply it for sales figure or adding any kind of numbers up. And this is a small example where we just took 10 numbers alone. But if you had, let's say, 100 numbers or 1000 numbers, it is the most easiest way to add up all those numbers together, which is sum function in the Excel. So hope this video was useful for you. Thank you.